Iron Man, Black Widow. Whoa, who's that new guy? That's me. I gotta go. Hey, everyone. Okay, so the craziest thing just happened, right? I started a fight with Captain America, and I stole his shield, and I threw it at him, and what the hell? He's big now. I gotta go. Hang on.
Popcorn can't be beat. Chocolate bars can't be beat. Popcorn can't be beat. Chocolate bars can't be beat. Popcorn can't be beat.
So
let's swing right in. Spider-Man Homecoming.
You know, we've been sitting here for literally 3 hours trying to think of an intro.
It's just so hard to intro this.
So let's just swing right into it.
Wow.
This is our
Did
review
you literally
for Spider-Man.
just steal my joke after you followed, like... So I started the joke, right? Saying, let's swing right in. And then you jumped in, you swooped in, and you're like, that's a good one, I'm going to say that 2 seconds later.
So we both saw Spider-Man Homecoming the other day.
No defense whatsoever. You know he's guilty.
No. We're swinging right into it. Oh, like this.
We're going to be doing two... We're going to be doing two things for you guys today. We're going to be giving our spoiler-free, and then we're going to be jumping right on over to Spoiler Town.
Are we going to be jumping or swinging into it?
We're going to be swinging in. Every transition we make
is a swing.
Is swinging. That's how we roll. That's how we swing.
Wow.
It's pretty good. Let's talk about some of the best things about why should you go see it, David?
Did you like it?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
Where would you put it with the other Marvel movies?
I think the other Marvel movies.
Or
I thought you were going to go Spider-Man's. I think it's better than the other Spider-Man movies. Honestly,
All of them?
I gotta give still props to the original SP-Man 1 and 2 from the Raimi trilogy. I still really like those, but I like this one a lot more. It has a lot more fun. I can relate more. It's quirky. It's cool. It's new.
You relate to
exciting.
a sophomore in high school?
More than I related to Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, that's probably true. No, this movie's awesome. Mm-hmm. It's literally.
So what? Why should you? I mean, you already saw the other 5. Why should you go see this one? What's so special about this Spider guy?
Because they did it right.
Oh,
it's like if somebody went and saw Batman and Robin, and then they're like, well, why should I see The Dark Knight? You're just like, well, do you want to see a good film?
Oh, true. To answer your question earlier that I kind of glossed over, how do I rank it among other Marvel movies? Pretty highly. It's one that doesn't really actually build up too much, you know?
Like, it's a very personal story.
Yeah, every now and then, with a lot of other Marvel movies, it feels like I still have a fun time watching it, but it definitely feels like they're just trying to get me to see the next one, you know?
Yeah. And this one I didn't really feel like it did with the...
Well, it made me want to see a lot more. It has a lot of other things. It does tie in. Of course it's going to tie into other things because it's a Marvel movie, but
this is its own contained story.
Yeah. It doesn't... There are definitely ways that it can go from here, but it wraps a lot of the things in it pretty nicely.
It gives us new things that we've never seen from Spider-Man, without...
Instead of eating a pizza or a hot dog, he's eating a sandwich. What? Crazy! Brand new Spider-Man, so different. He eats a sandwich, got pickles on it. Who'd have thought?
Well, it's the lowest level crime we saw any of the other Spider-Men deal with was probably thugs in an alleyway, and this he deals with a bicycle thief.
Yeah.
And not even a motorcycle thief. Literally a bicycle thief.
He also just helps an old lady
cross
with
the street.
directions.
It's so cute. And this is our first time I've actually seen Peter Parker in high school and said, yeah, that looks believable, instead of we got some 27-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. And that's not a real high school. People were carrying a bunch of shit.
You didn't think this looked like a real high school?
No, I'm talking about the other ones.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought this felt so...
In this one, I felt like this could definitely be a real high school. Fun fact about Tom Holland training for Spider-Man, he went to an actual high school.
Oh, yeah.
And just hung out. And no one knew he was Spider-Man.
I'm sure somebody...
Which is kind of like this movie.
If you were a high school and you saw Tom Holland...
Yeah, now I would, but...
Before this?
Maybe not. because it was before Civil War as well that he went. I think it was before Civil War. I could be wrong, but he went to a science and technical high school in New York, and just blended in for like 6 months, and like the teachers didn't know.
For 6 months? I didn't know it was that long.
Maybe, yeah. He for a certain amount of time.
I know he got like a fake name, and he used a fake like English, not English, but like American accent.
Yeah.
Accent.
But yeah, and you can really like that. I think that actually definitely paid off a lot, because he is very believable. All the side characters are really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's just jump straight into all the side characters. Let's start off with Michael Keaton as Vulture.
Really, really good. Way better than I thought it was gonna be. Because I liked him in the trailer, but it's kind of the thing where it's like that might be all we get from him.
I liked him in the trailers. Like I thought his tone with everything just seems so believable when other things, like in other Marvel films.
Right, but there are other Marvel movies where I see the bad guy in the trailer. So when you saw the
trailer for Thor: The Dark World,
I'm like, oh, Christopher Eccleston as this all-powerful elf Malachi who wants to destroy the universe. Yeah, I was totally excited for that. Was it Malekith?
I think so.
Oh, dang it. That's fine. It was shit anyway. No, I was excited for Thor: The Dark World, and then it was trash. I love Christopher Eccleston. Very, very strong actor.
That's a weird thing to be excited for.
Sorry.
But I thought he knocked it out of the park. Michael Keaton, that is.
Not Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, no, definitely not. He honestly might be my favorite MCU villain.
Oh, yeah, hands down. You also have some amazing smaller roles by... I think most people know that Donald Glover's in this movie. You also have Hannibal Buress, Martin Starr, a bunch of people.
Real side characters, like.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you're going to like. People
I'm not talking about his
lines.
friend. I'm talking about Stan Lee. Can you believe he made a cameo in this movie?
Did you like it? I didn't like it that much.
It was okay. Sure. Let's talk about that when we get to spoiler thing.
Let's talk about...
I hope it's not... I hope this many movies in, 22 some movies in, that people aren't like, what? Stan Lee's in the movie?
We'll talk about spoilers.
What?
What about Ned? His Peter Parker's best friend.
I really liked him. There were some parts where I was like, man, I definitely had that kind of friend in high school. And there were also times where I'm like, I was probably that friend in high school.
Were you the man in the chair?
At some points I was the man in the chair, but other times I was Flash Thompson. Which I feel bad about.
Way to be a bully.
Yeah, sorry. Flash Thompson was very enjoyable as well.
If any of the people you bullied in high school are listening, do you want to apologize to them?
Yeah. I've just got 2 words to say, and if everyone could join me, let's all get together and join in this thoughtful and helping time.
This could be your Billy Madison scene right here, where your name gets crossed off the list. This is my Billy Madison scene. Yep. So now, when I say penis, you say Parker. Penis. And then hopefully everyone at home listening said Parker. And it's a very involved joke. You guys got to do a lot more than usual you're
for
a
these
horrible
yucks.
Person. That's a weird bit.
Yeah, it was. Music. Let's talk about the music a little bit. I really liked the music in this.
It's weird going from Baby Driver, which obviously the soundtrack for that is amazing, into this and being like, damn, that's a really good soundtrack.
Yeah, so I think Marvel's starting to take a lot of lessons that a lot of people complain about. So people complain about their color grading, things like that. People complain about how the music is super boring. Now, there are a couple movies that use other music, like written, like people, like actual songs, not an orchestra.
Right.
Which are also actual songs, but I mean like released songs already,
not
really
make them feel important.
Yeah, listen, I'm sorry, guys.
Their life choices.
No, but like things like with the Iron Man movies, where it was like all AC/DC stuff like that. That was super fitting for Iron Man. Like that made sense.
Right.
That really set the tone for those exactly how they needed to be. And then there was really nothing else for anyone until Guardians. And in Guardians, they got amazing soundtrack. And now in Spider-Man: Homecoming, they also have really, really good songs.
And it looks like Black Panther.
If Black Panther is just Run the Jewels the whole
so
time,
cool.
I'd totally be down for that. It just goes through all 3 of the albums.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
They definitely could have used more songs with it, but I every single song they had, I really, really enjoyed.
I think the only one that I didn't really get into was a part where they like because Spider-Man Homecoming, so they have the homecoming dance. I didn't really like the song in that scene.
That's a spoiler.
What, that they have a homecoming dance in Spider-Man Homecoming?
I didn't realize that before I went to the movie. I thought it was like Homecoming as in Spider-Man's coming home to Marvel.
I mean, that's also what it is.
I know, but I never went to a homecoming dance in school, so I didn't
You never went to homecoming?
No.
You know I was on the homecoming court?
Of course you were.
Let's quickly talk about my ego. So I was on the homecoming court, and it was super rad. Shout out to...
voted most likable and most likely to succeed.
I was also voted most likely to be... Well, not most likely to succeed, most likely to be famous.
I was also voted for that.
I don't think you were.
I was.
I was the homecoming queen for a little bit. Shout out to Joe Park putting the crown on my head for like 3 seconds. And me getting the... It was a tiara, you are correct.
Yeah.
Me getting the most applause out of any of them. And then Katie, bless her heart, steals my throne, and I'm after her.
Why don't you do like a Mean Girls scene where you just tear the crown up and give it to everyone else?
What?
Do you see Mean Girls ever?
Yeah, but I just pictured bread for some reason.
Bread?
Yeah, like tearing up bread and handing it out.
No, she tears up the crown.
So,
Okay, so
Mean
let's get
Girls
back to
is a
this.
lot like
Let's get back to
the
Spider-Man.
splitting of the Red Sea with Moses.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know if you remember... You know, I thought about it for a second, and I just realized that this actually isn't our Mean Girls is just a very, very convoluted allusion to the Bible episode. This is our Spider-Man Homecoming episode, and I should probably get a little bit back on track.
Actually, I had a point I wanted to say about Spider-Man.
About Spider-man.
Yeah.
I thought we were done with that. We'd moved
back
on
to
to
Spider-Man.
the Mean Girls bit.
Spider-Man is like almost 2 hours and 20 minutes long, right? Which is probably one of the longer MCU films.
Yeah, it's that they usually peak right around there.
Yeah. Now, there was never a point where I thought that the movie was dragging ever. Mm-hmm. But once the movie wrapped up, I was like, fuck, that was a long movie.
Well, there were points where I was like, this actually could have gone longer, and I would appreciate it if it went. Yeah, and
See,
I'll get more into that in spoiler.
But like leaving it, like, because like every single part I basically enjoyed of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
There was no part that really stood out. I was like, you could have cut that. But I still feel like there were some scenes that could have been cut out to make it a tighter movie. Like, I feel like hour 50 would be like the perfect length to have a super tight Spider-Man movie.
No, I'd probably put it like 210. I don't want to take that much out. There's so much I like about this.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying it's long.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, this is gonna be longer than Dunkirk. Which is
I doubt that. This is longer than the original cut for Silence.
It is longer. It's longer than Dunkirk.
Oh, okay. Ooh, Mr. Times here. Mr. I'm the New York Times. Look at me. I know what every hour, every second.
Yeah. Dunkirk's hour 46 minutes.
Wow, did you know that off the top of your head, or did you look at your phone?
I did actually, because I measured the length of
the film.
Of the film, yeah.
Except we have it all on digital.
No, I got my hands on one of the IMAX reels for it. I just wanted to mess around with it. Don't worry about it. What?
What did you?
Yeah.
So overall, what did you think of the movie?
Are you fucking serious?
Should we recommend?
So before we jump into spoilers, let's just
swing in. Do you remember the bit at the beginning where we said every transition was swing in?
Nice. So before we swing into spoilers, what would you rate this? And I'm changing the way we do Baby Driver. I want to give it a letter grade because I like letter grades more.
I like percents.
I don't like percents.
Fuck you.
I don't.
Fine, but I'm gonna say the percent first and then convert it to the letter grade. Okay,
let's hear it.
Man, put me on the spot. Dang it. Like we didn't know we were gonna record this. I'd rank it pretty highly. I'd probably put it at like an 83.
Oh, that's
84.
That doesn't sound so high to me. Actually,
for a Marvel movie, for a blockbuster movie, I would say that's pretty high for me.
Really,
I'm a pretentious piece of shit.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. God, no, 80 is still pretty good. Like, not every single
83 is a
83
B-.
is still a movie you should. That's still something to be proud of.
No, but 83, it's lower than I was expecting. Because like I haven't heard any real issues that you brought up about the movie.
I'll talk about spoiler time.
Oh, okay, cool.
B minus.
I would give it
B minus, edging on a B. It's a B minus plus.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
It's like a B- with like a small little addition sign right next to
Yeah.
it. Like real small, like
Yeah.
you gotta get out a magnifying glass because you're like, what is that right next to the minus sign? And you look in and you're like, that's an addition sign.
That's an addition sign.
I would probably have to give this a B+.
Oh, a bleep les.
A high B+.
B plus.
Like
okay.
a B+.
Like we'll put it on a percentage so that way we both get our ways for how we want to rate it.
Probably like an 89.
Okay.
I was gonna say 88.75, but then I was like, I don't want to be a douche.
Well, that's not the only thing that makes you a douche, David.
Oh. Now we're gonna be jumping straight into spoilers. So if you have not seen Spider-Man: Homecoming,
Get the fuck out of here. Go watch the movie or don't. I don't care.
exactly, you don't have to keep
Judging by the box office results, all y'all motherfuckers already have. Jesus, it's doing great.
Yeah, it did really good.
Doing awesome. This is a great opening for it. Stronger than I thought it would be.
Honestly, it's right around where I was gonna put it. Like it's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
He's
that's fair.
one of the biggest superhero names
Yeah.
in the world.
In the world. In the whole dang world.
I don't know if I can actually speak for the whole world, but I would assume so.
Anyway, so maybe you just wanted to see how far this bit would go of us ranting about the world. This is it. This is how far it went. Get out of here if you haven't seen this gosh dang movie. I'm trying to make it kid friendly.
I think we've already sworn like multiple times.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm trying to do the Lord's work.
All right.
I'm trying to get us family friendly brand sponsor. Catch us next week when we're gonna be streaming live on Disney XD.
You know what XD stands for, right?
Yeah, extra dick. You know what I'm saying, my boys.
All right. So
Nice.
So you said you had some issues with it. That dropped it for a whole 17%.
From yours, it wasn't. We didn't start
17% from 100. Fucking idiot.
Ah, shit. You're right.
God.
Didn't I have it at 84?
No, you had 83.
I said 83, 84.
I heard 83 first. You always go with your first answer.
What?
And just like a quiz in school, you start off with 100% and you only lose points when you get something wrong. So why did you knock Spider-Man down so much?
There was a little too much with the suit.
You didn't like the suit?
No, okay. Here's my thing with the suit.
Sorry. I moved the chair. So like...
David, I'm going to need you to apologize into the mic.
I'm sorry. That's me loud. So why are you complaining about this suit?
It's got too much. Like, okay, so I
You
like...
understanding that Tony Stark made him this suit
Listen.
to go and fight the Avengers.
Yeah.
Actually, the X-Avengers.
Let me say my grievances, please.
Let's hear it.
So, that was a weird bit.
You just sang. It's a fucking musical over here.
Everything's swing.
Alright, let's hear it.
Okay, so it was a cool suit, cool design. I liked it until he took off training wheels because there was just... It felt like every single thing in there was a joke. Okay? And it was just too many different types of jokes that none of them really stick. Like, if there was just one, it'd be like,
The jokes
interesting.
come full circle, though, and he uses them eventually.
But like the death mode or kill mode or whatever.
You don't think that's going to come up again?
It's
You don't
just
think in, like, Infinity War when they're fighting
It wasn't
Thanos?
necessary. And that's what bugged me.
But if the seed is planted now and it comes to fruition, and that seed blooms.
But can you tell me all the different web shooter combinations that they introduced into it? Not all the 536 or whatever it was. Can you tell me?
Did you ever play any of the Spider-Man games as a kid? Actual serious question.
Yes.
And
yes,
do you
I
remember
did.
when he had the special like fully automatic like web shooter?
Yes, I do.
And was like a callback to that.
Okay, here's the thing. Within the video game universe, okay, where you are the one controlling it and it's up to you to memorize all this stuff, over the course of an entire game, always adding new stuff, not getting... Okay, imagine level 1 of a game.
We don't get
Level
introduced
1
to-
of a game. Okay, level 1 of a game. You have all your basic things. You learn how to run, jump, open doors, whatever. Pick up items.
What game are you talking about? 'Cause, like, this sounds highly What system? What system are you playing this on?
PS2.
Oh God. Okay.
Very convoluted. Okay, and then you do the tutorial, like that simple stuff right there, and
Right,
you're
you
like,
get your
okay, I
training
think
wheels
I got the kind of basics, and most games would kind of lean you in then. They kind of ease you into it. They'll swing in. You get that as a
Yeah, I
callback
like that.
to our own bit. I've
Like-
called
like-
back to this 7 times.
like-
This is the only bit we're going to be consistent about.
Like, so you're saying when the game takes the training wheels off?
But here's the thing. Most games don't actually take the training wheels off. It gives the illusion of that, okay? Where, like,
Now we're
yes,
just-
you have a little bit more
Are we
freedom.
doing video game psychology over here?
Break it down for you.
I don't like.
I'm in a
this
real
bit.
musical mood.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
sorry.
like it.
So I think most games normally this analogy's gone on way too long,
Yeah, it
but
really
you keep
has.
interrupting me.
You haven't made it past in most video games. Like you're recording this part for 5 minutes over here.
They
In
will
most
lead
video
you
games-
in.
Yep. Jesus Christ, I haven't heard
They'll
this
give you
before.
the illusion,
The illusion, I know,
of
yep.
the training wheels being off, and then
But they're not.
correct.
It's
So
an
there's
illusion.
you're still gonna learn and gain more things later and later
Right.
on in the game. However, this way of it is after you do the simple tutorial of like how to walk, how to move your camera,
Right.
then it's like here are every single, like the whole game is unlocked, all of your abilities, and you don't know which ones are good, or there's no default settings, they're just everything's there. And like that's super overwhelming and frustrating, and
But let's say you're playing-
it's overwhelming and frustrating when it happens to you, the player. But when you have to watch someone else do it, like you don't even get a joy of like
Okay.
trying to figure it out because you're just watching them struggle, and it wasn't an enjoyable thing. It wasn't
Let's say you're
funny
playing
enough.
like
for
a,
me.
like a fighting game, like Street Fighter, right? You can do all the combos from the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't because you know the easier way of just punch, kick, punch, right? Mm-hmm. And that is what happens to Peter. He gets all this stuff unlocked, and he just goes, no, I don't want this. I just give me the basic stuff. Like I know how to do the basic stuff. I can do the punch and kick. I don't want this electro web.
I just felt
And,
like they
he
were trying to
doesn't
do
use
it for too much of a joke. Like when
I don't
they-
think it's. I mean, it's partially funny because he gets overwhelmed, but it's also funny
But there are
because
also
at the
things
same
where it's like
time,
he's
when
trying to
he's
go to the
learning this-
van.
but
and he's trying to swing through the gas station and electrocutes it, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta hide now." It's like,
But it's funny
Cool.
because the guy in the van is also learning how to use the shocker glove too.
it's a small thing that I had
It's a
with
very small
it,
thing.
not a huge thing.
But like,
I
did you
wanted-
not like the different varieties of the spider web? Like, did you like the little spider, like the web grenade thing?
I didn't really like the web grenade.
was the only one I didn't really like. But like the electro web. So,
Interesting, and I liked when they use it later on against Vulture, but it
That's
could,
like,
I don't know.
setting something up and then having the payoff. Right?
No, that's actually a completely different thing. You didn't just read the fucking textbook dictionary definition.
I didn't though. Fuck you.
Fuck me. Fuck you.
So besides the suit, which actually we got off topic because I wanted to say something. The suit makes complete sense when you think about it because Tony Stark, right, made him the suit. And what kind of mood is Tony Stark in when he makes it for him? He's in this like crazy, like obsessive state of perfecting his own suit. So of course when he makes the first time we've ever seen this, really, besides making the War Machine suit, which he makes not even on purpose for Rhodey. I mean, maybe you could say he did, right? But of course he's going to go way overboard with all the gadgets and everything in this.
I mean,
Like,
just because it makes sense doesn't mean it's a necessity. Like, just because you can find a reason to
Like, even that's why,
say,
like-
that's why something's in it, doesn't mean that it's a necessary part. And I think that's different. Yes, it completely makes sense in the movie, but I don't think it's something they needed to
But, like, if
do
Tony Stark
as
would've-
heavily. I think they could have toned it down a lot more than they did.
So are you saying you would've
it
liked
just
it-
felt like too much for me.
if they would have said, which web would you like out of the 567 choices, you would have been like, that's cool as long as we don't hear what any of those webs are.
Well, you can give me like 4 options. Don't
We
give me
heard-
like 20.
We didn't get like 20. We got like,
It-
we literally probably got like 4 or 5.
Felt like too much. I did like the training bit when he's locked inside of the
That's amazing.
the holding place
the
for the cleanup crew or whatever. I really liked that where, you know, time was passing and that's how we got to learn all the new stuff with the suit rather than just kind of bumbling his way through villains. I think that's what I didn't like. It didn't feel like he should actually know how to use any of the stuff for it yet.
Yeah, I loved it. He was learning how to use everything still.
Okay. So the suit's fine. It makes sense.
But like, if you gave him a suit,
I wish it was toned down a little bit, but it's fine. It's not, honestly, not that big of a hang-up. It feels like we've been talking too long about it, so it feels like a big part of the movie.
if you cut out the learning curve though for the suit, then the only other learning curve he has is
For his own personal
being a
self.
superhero.
That's still a big part.
But I think this adds the extra little speed bump. That's nice.
Let's do a little more quick fire stuff. Okay?
let's hear
Let's
it.
try to rapid stuff up. The ferry scene. Did you like it or did you not like it?
I liked it a lot.
I wasn't that sold.
Why?
It just felt like they were trying to do the same thing as the train sequence in Spider-Man 2.
But he fails.
I like that he fails, but it's still
I mean,
like
that's
you still have
That's
the guy sitting there like, yeah, Spider-Man, yeah, Spider-Man.
He gives
It was
one,
exactly the same.
and like before he even finishes, all the webs start breaking, and like you even have the realization when whatever the robot or the suit's voice is, when it's like, you were 98% almost there, Peter, and then he's like, what, 98? And then like you realize, shit.
I like that he
didn't do it.
failed, but
And then you see everything come down, and then you see
Yeah.
Father Stark come in.
listen, I think the problem with this, and I think something that we're gonna find is a road bump for this spoiler stuff. I don't have the fixes yet. I haven't thought about it too much. I just know that it could be better, you know, in certain spots.
I mean, everything could be better with more thought, but
I really wish we got a lot more out of Flash Thompson because I really enjoyed the moments he was in, and I wanted a lot more.
did you like the actor for Flash?
Yeah.
I did not.
Oh, okay. Rude.
When I think of Flash, I think about physically intimidating instead of somebody who looks like he could be beat up by Peter.
I think, and that's why I wanted more of him.
And like, I'm not even talking about Peter as Spider-Man. I'm talking about just if Peter Parker had no superheroes, looks like he'd probably get beat Flash's ass.
I wanted more from him just to see.
And like, literally, his insults were calling him a penis. That's like a second
Which is
grader insult.
pretty good.
That's a second grader.
It's
insult.
not supposed to be like, wow, that was a pretty good burn by that guy, and be like, let's side with him. Peter Parker sucks.
They have a scene of
Now,
Flash at a party.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to redo our bit from earlier. I feel like a lot of people didn't actually get as involved as I would have hoped, so we're going to try it one more time. Okay? Now, remember, when I say penis, you say Parker. Okay? Is everyone on board with this?
Thank you for actually bringing me into my next point, where they
Okay.
literally have him at a party.
Let me do
with
the bit
with
first.
a microphone in hand, where the entire party is cheering him on. Like,
So it's kind of like something like so let's recreate that with our audience right now. I want call to action. That's all I want from the show. I want to be able to manipulate people into saying Parker in public and people freaking out. Anyway, so when I say penis, you say Parker. Is everyone on board? You guys ready? All right. Boys and girls, here we go. Penis. Sweet. You guys killed it. You really did. I wasn't as impressed with the first one, but this time, now that everyone actually legitimately said it, there wasn't a single person that didn't listen and say out loud, audibly, no matter where they were, taking a dump at a Wendy's, riding a train, in a meeting, at a funeral. One guy was... he was doing it. I don't know why he was listening to us when he was doing it. It was kind of weird. But he said Parker, and she was like, no, it's Amy. And then they obviously broke it up. And that's not the moral of the story. Anyway, you can go back to what you were saying about how we had a microphone at the party. Never mind, let's just move on. Let's talk about Ned, your boy Ned.
what do you want to say about Ned? I thought he was funny. Okay, actually, let's talk about this for a minute. So, in Civil War, Peter doesn't know what Empire Strikes Back is. And in this movie, he cannot wait to build the Death Star. Now, is there a continuity error there?
I think The thing that really pulled me out of this movie
I literally
was the Star Wars viewing continuity errors.
Do you not have an issue with this though?
Do you think maybe he heard that and he was like, "Oh, that's cool that they said that thing," and then Ned's like, "Wait, you haven't seen that?" And then he's like, "Nope." And they watch it. It's kind of dumb that he hasn't seen Empire.
No, I don't think actually what you said happened.
I just saw a giant stick and like a head pop up. We got a Jedi outside. Sorry, I'm a little distracted here, guys. I don't mean to interrupt this podcast too much, but there's a small boy out in the lawn right outside where we're recording, just going to town on the air with this Krav Maga stick. He's got this staff that he's swinging around.
Like, imagine if you've seen Tusk, and this is the Kung Fu Kid.
Yeah, it's the Kung Fu Kid. No one's gonna get that reference.
Marissa will.
No one saw Tusk.
Marissa. Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
I would actually like to also shout out Marissa, but mine's going to be a little bit sweeter. Hey, Marissa, you're a cool gal. I think you got a lot more to offer to this world than you may think you do sometimes. And I think you really got to think on the positive times. You got to remember that the world is a bright and bubbly place, and part of that is because you's in it. Good on you, girl. Keep on rocking in the free world. Now, don't you kind of feel like a dick that your shout-out was like, hey, remember that movie where Justin Long turned into a walrus? Remember that thing I forced you to watch?
She loves Tusk.
Listen, Marissa, everything I said before, it's gone. You're a piece of shit, Marissa. I'm kidding. Speaking of girls, let's talk about some girls. We got three main girls.
I really hate the MJ reveal at the end. It seems like so lazy.
It also is a very weird line. Because they've been with her the entire time, and she's just like, my friends call me MJ. And they're like, you have friends? And she's like, I didn't before.
It kind of reminds me of like...
It's like, no, here's exactly what it is.
You should use your first name. Robin's so much better.
Here's how I think of it, okay? So
you didn't say exactly what I said and then cut me out.
No. Here's kind of what it's like for me. It's like if, every single episode we're like, hey, I'm Ethan, hey, I'm David, and we like introduced ourselves and we said hello to you guys. But then during our Spider-Man episode, I'm just like, yeah, but you guys might know us better as we gotta think of some fake names. I'm Can Curl, a Dan Merle parody, and you are
Denter Libert.
It's like that. If we went by Denter Libert and Can Curl, and that's what you guys know us as. Those are deep cuts. I'm like, two people are gonna get maybe one of those jokes. I think the only people that's going to get both are us. Man, all right. No, it was weird and forced. I liked her as a character. Other than that,
I liked her as a character until she became MJ. And I was like, that's not MJ.
Which was literally like at the end, yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, isn't MJ supposed to be like super popular and not supposed to not have any friends?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how they play her later on. It's gonna be a trilogy.
Just imagine the Sam Raimi Spider-Man where MJ sneaks into detention and hangs out with no one.
Yeah, it'd be weird. It's a weird twist on her character. I think that's the one that I didn't really like them changing a lot of the character. I don't have any
issue with them changing the character. That's totally cool with me. But like, don't be like, big reveal, I'm MJ, because like you're not MJ. Mm-hmm. So like,
yeah.
Other
ladies, you got Aunt May.
Not really actually in it that much.
But I liked the scenes where she was in it.
Yeah.
She doesn't feel like... Okay, so that's one of the things that I'm kind of glad they did in this one, is in the Sam Raimi ones, like, she's basically just there all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't get away from her. And like, this is supposed to be the cool, fun Aunt May, right?
Who's giving you like dating tips.
Yeah.
And like, this is how you dance.
And she's like, oh, here's how you tie a tie, my dude.
Yeah.
Like I liked it.
I liked her.
It was simple. Her character was still there and enjoyable, and you definitely you knew she was important to Peter, but it's not something that we had to be bogged down.
One thing I
the whole
really
time.
loved, which it's just such a small little line when Ned's talking about does May know? And Peter's like, no, you know what she's going through. I can't tell her this right now. She couldn't handle it. I feel like that's
an allusion to Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Ben is never mentioned.
Which is fine. Everyone,
I'm totally cool with
everyone knows, Everyone knows Uncle Ben died, and you should put Parker.
Wait, that's what I thought. Uncle Ben was just he went out to go get.
He went up
to get ice
to
cream
a farm up north,
and when you go to,
and he's there hanging out with a whole bunch of other Uncle Bens.
When you go to a place to get ice cream,
they're all playing on the farm.
When you go to a place,
we're both doing two really solid bits simultaneously.
When you go to a place to get ice cream and you don't come back, you never went to a place where there's ice cream.
Or at this farm bit where you have a bunch of Uncle Bens running around. I think I like my bit a bit more. It's got a really good visual. Yeah, so that's a nice little line. We also got another gal, kind of the main gal, Liz.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I feel like she's more there to just be Keaton's daughter.
I mean, to a point. I still really
do you think
enjoyed
she's coming
her.
back? Honestly.
I think she can definitely be in the other movies, but I also think they set it up where she can or she can't. I
don't think she's gonna be. I can see how she easily could be. She's still Peter's crush, but I totally think she's never gonna be seen again, unless it's at Vulture's hearing. Mm-hmm. Unless it's at Vulture's hearing.
Yeah. I'm not gonna fake laugh as much as I did the first time.
Oh fuck you!
That was a good little real moment right there. Let a true emotion came through.
So let's get into Stanley's cameo.
Let's talk about her a little bit more than just that.
Do you want to? I really don't have much to say about her.
I thought it was weird. She actually ended up being a very different character than I thought she would be in the beginning.
She was introduced to be the popular, not nice girl, and ended up being the really nice, we're actually best friends.
Yeah. And it's involved in everything.
Why
I was a little confused. I was wait, why is she at their debate thing? And then it's because she's a
really
large part of that.
Too.
And I'm oh, okay.
It's weird because Peter at no point seems like he doesn't have friends, except for when he's eating lunch with Ned and MJ, and they're why do you sit with us? And MJ's well, because I don't have friends either. And it's but clearly you guys get along with everyone. I would imagine that this
you could have a pretty good, solid 7-person group,
Yeah. Instead of just literally 2 people. I went to high school. There's no way just 2
Well,
people.
hold on. Total bombshell right there. You went to high school? That's not something we automatically assume about people. What?
But 2 people just don't sit at a table by themselves. There's not enough tables.
That is the bigger reason why 2 people would not sit by themselves. I definitely know people that don't talk to other people at lunch, but they definitely don't get their own table.
Yeah.
Most unrealistic part of this Spider-Man movie is how much table space there was in the cafeteria. Unrealistic. 0 out of 10. Ruined the movie for me.
Yeah.
I really like.
My yeah just sounded fuck that part. Lunch table space, God. Pulled me right out of it. I don't like that Peter puts his backpack into his locker. Did you go to your locker in high school?
No.
Neither. I never even touched my locker.
I mean, I knew people
I hate
that
when movies
did.
show the locker scenes.
I definitely had people that did use their locker. I knew those guys, but
in 13
I never
Reasons
fucking...
Why, the parents show up to her daughter's locker and they go, "Why doesn't she have any pictures inside her locker?" And I just want the principal to look at him and be like, "Because nobody actually uses their fucking locker."
Yeah. It's no, these are... We just painted door. They can't open. It saved us so much money. And nobody's mentioned it yet. There's just paint on the walls to look like lockers. Not a single goddamn person uses their lockers to find out.
I knew 3 people that did. Okay. Stanley's cameo though. Okay.
Kind of simple. Coming off of Guardians, where it was this huge thing, the fan theory of the Watcher.
This. I don't like it as him now just being a man in a window who also has relationships with the neighbors.
Yeah, how dare he have a
No, but he doesn't have enough
healthy-
time. And like, this isn't even in close proximity to where Peter lives.
Yeah.
He just happens to be at this car.
Yeah, there's definitely there was a more creative way they could have done that they just didn't. I don't know what the creative way that I would have liked it to be.
He could have been a teacher at the school.
That would have been kind of interesting, actually.
Yeah, that would have made
Or like
sense.
a janitor.
Yeah, well,
the
they already
school.
did he was a librarian in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Or 1.
Yeah.
I just didn't like
I
it.
think I know that kid. There's a classic one. That's
Yeah.
from Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Cool, fantastic, great movie. So good. 10 out of 10.
Ooh, that's not true.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, Stanley's cameo was pretty weak in this one.
I thought it was one of his
agree with
weaker
that.
ones, especially coming off such a big one. Like it
Oh,
was
yeah.
a bombshell. in
Yeah, the
Guardians.
Watch one was so good.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, no.
I like the Thor one a lot.
No. The I got a package here for
Tony Stank.
Tony Stank. I have a package here for Tony Stank. Classic. That was really good.
I like the Thor one where you're trying to get the hammer out. Did I get it? Now let's move on to I think the final character we're probably gonna be talking about. Actually, no, there's 2 more. Let's talk about Tony and Happy because they're kind of a package deal here.
Yeah, let's talk about Tony and Happy. They're definitely a package deal.
How did you feel about that Spider-Man costume at the end? The one he turned down. You're
I
probably
would've-
glad because you probably would have hated that because it probably would have had 1,200
it was
web
an
choices.
There's kind of a thing where it's like we don't need a new suit every goddamn movie. That I
Wait,
get a little weary
That
of.
happens with Iron Man.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't actually. Fuck.
Yeah.
Sure. Jumped
But
right into that one.
when they give him the suit back at the end, I thought it was going to be the new suit. They were still going to give it to him, and they just gave him the original
Yeah,
that
I like
Tony
that.
made, which I thought was
I kind of
interesting.
like that.
He's definitely going to wear the new suit or
at some
another
point.
new
Well, it's like
suit.
a secret weapon that they're gonna
Yeah.
be like, you know.
It's kind of interesting trying to figure out where we go from here. No, I really liked.
Well, did you like Let's actually talk about Pepper Potts finally back in a movie.
Yeah, weird. I haven't seen her in like 50 years.
That was contract issues and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see her back, and now she's apparently going to get married to Tony Stark.
No, she got engaged to Marvel again.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
They're all gonna have what was it? A conscious uncoupling, an uncoupling or whatever the fuck she did. They had that,
Yeah.
but now they're gonna get re-engaged. It's a whole big thing. Check it out on our website where you can buy shitty stickers to make you feel not bad. They don't work.
Are we selling stickers?
Yeah. No. Gwyneth Paltrow is. I can talk to you about that on this side if you don't know about this weird fucking life she lives outside of the screen.
Outside of the screen, when they allow her to leave the screen.
She's always on one camera.
Fuck. But Happy played. I feel like he was on the screen more than Robert.
Oh yeah, no, he had way more. And I
I
like that.
love his
like
bathroom
that.
scene.
Oh yeah.
That was so funny. How long has he been in there? Long enough to make this awkward. It was just so good.
Yeah, no, I'm very, very happy with the screen time Jon Favreau got in this one. He's always been a small favorite of mine in the Iron Man ones of just like, that's a cool little character for it. But I
feel like
I got
this
a
is the-
lot more
This
with
is the
him.
most I've enjoyed
Yeah.
him as a character because
Yeah.
sometimes he annoys me. Sometimes
I don't know.
Iron Man 2 he really annoyed me.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. But this one, they got him back
Iron
to
Man
where
3,
he should
kind of
be.
annoyed me.
There were a lot of other things in those movies that annoyed me more, though.
Oh yeah.
I really, really enjoyed his character in it. I thought his interactions with Peter and with Tony were both really, really spot on. He also had some great dynamics between the two of them when they would like pick sides. It would be like Peter and Happy, and then Tony and Peter, and then Happy and Tony, and
Well,
kind of
'cause
back and forth between that, all competing with each other. But they're all this like.
Jumping
That's
back
such a
to
fun-
Tony for a minute, I loved his 2 lines. Actually, they're 2 different lines. Where
About
he
fucking dogs. That was a classic
Jesus
one.
Christ now.
Hold on.
If
I feel like in case people don't immediately know what I'm talking about, the screw the pooch line, I had a real fun time with that one. He's like,
Oh,
can you
yeah.
raise the hybrids? he's like, this analogy's kind of gotten away from me. I gotta go giggle out of that.
If you're nothing without the suit, then maybe you don't deserve it line.
Oh, you mean the let's try to say with great power comes great responsibility, but we'll do it in a backwards way, so that it's not just that same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then the "I wanted you to be better than me" line.
I liked that. He had some really great quips in it the whole time, like the "I'm not hugging you."
What do we think he was
just
doing
the door.
in like India?
Just chilling out.
Seriously?
He's a billionaire playboy philanthropist, like
who doesn't run the company anymore. Pepper does.
Yeah. So he's got a lot of free time.
What was he doing though? Now he's like all like governmented out with like Avengers now. Just setting up new places. You don't think that's going to come back to play at all?
I think it was a throwaway scene that they wanted to make a joke that he wasn't actually there. Not a big deal to me.
Like a throwaway joke about like webs and stuff. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Oh, sorry. All right, let's
cut the fucking tension with a knife.
Since Ethan really wants to talk about,
can I talk about him now?
Yeah,
David, can I talk about him now? The only reason I wanted to start this podcast was to talk about
2 minutes. Go.
Your boy Donald Glover. What's up? What a cool guy. I really liked that he was in this. You're literally just looking at how much time has recorded. All right, that means I actually got 2 minutes on this. Okay, cool. I really enjoyed him visually. He's a cool guy. I enjoyed his...
Visually? I like the way he looks
audibly.
As a person. I like his voice. I closed my eyes when he was talking. It was really nice.
I loved that he is Aaron Davis, who is... Miles Morales' uncle, who then turns into a villain as well. That's kind of cool. So his crime actually leads into Miles Morales becoming Spider-Man. So it's cool. I got a nephew in Queens. Nice, cool line.
Now, do we think that's going to come to anything, or is it just a line?
I don't know yet. I honestly don't.
They picked a young Peter Parker. Young-looking Peter Parker.
There's only 14 in this movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of story to be told there.
Yeah.
Do you think the MCU is going to be around for...
years and years and years?
Shit.
Yeah. Of course they will. Donald Glover, cool guy.
2008
cool
still.
guy.
Fuck me.
Cool guy. Donald Glover. It might come into fruition. Who knows?
Why would I speed you up? Do you just turn into like this wacky broadcast?
21, 78, we got 25, MIZ, 30. I don't want to waste my time doing this weird auction bit.
Past 2 minutes, sorry.
Listen, no.
I thought he had some of the great lines in the movie. Not great lines, but really funny lines.
You need to get better at this part of the job.
We're like, I don't want any of these crazy guns. I just want to be able to stick somebody up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like, I don't want these dangerous guns in my well, hold on.
I mean, I hope not.
Hold on, let me backtrack a little bit. I don't want any of these crazy weapons in my neighborhood. You know, I got a nephew that lives over in Queen. Miles Morales. I'm very excited for Miles Morales. Hashtag Donald for Spider-Man. Let's get it back going. Finally came to fruition in this movie. Donald for Spider-Man. He's
Donald
in
isn't
Spider-Man.
Gonna be Spider-Man.
Huh?
He's not gonna be Spider-Man.
He had some great jokes. I love his
really
line.
Weird.
I love his line about so he gets his hand stuck to the trunk, right? And then he's like, "No, you ain't gonna just leave me here." And he's like, "You're a criminal. You're a bad thing. You gotta be caught. You're a criminal." This is my best Peter Parker
horrible.
impression.
You're a criminal.
You deserve
it. You know what?
Hey, listen. It's like a cross between Morty from Rick and Morty and Navi from Legend of Zelda. Hey, listen, jeez, man!
I gave you 2 minutes to talk about him. Now we're past him because
The ice cream joke was great. He's like,
literally more screen time than he had. So
that's fair.
Okay, so
I really liked him. I'm glad he had that little moment. I wish we got more.
Everyone knows he did.
Oh, so good.
That's gonna sound weird.
He's a real solid guy.
Okay, so on to the final character. Michael
not the
Keaton.
best character, because that was Donald.
I don't know about that. So, Michael Keaton as Vulture. What do you think?
Fucking good.
Didn't we talk about him?
Knocked out all of my expectations. Like, legitimately, I was really hoping he'd be, like, at least somewhat interesting, but he was so good.
He was scary as fuck. I would like that car scene. I was terrified.
Like, as soon as he figures out who it is, that's where I'm like, fuck.
Well, that's what I love
fuck.
too. Is
And
like,
then like he's like, can you give Peter and I a second? I'm gonna give him the dad talk.
It's
and
so-
he pulls out the gun. I'm like,
and like, just the way like you can see him actually piecing together who this kid is in the backseat.
and weighing his options. He's like, I can't just kill this kid because that's my my daughter's date to the prom. You know,
It's
like
so good.
it's. I totally get it, you know? And there are also things where he's supposed to seem scary in the beginning, like when he basically pulverizes this guy who's like, I can tell the secrets on the outside. But then after he pulverizes the guy, he turns, he's like, I thought that was the gravity gun. No, the gravity gun's over there. Oh, jeez. But then he was just like, okay.
Yeah. Just a great duality to the character. Mm-hmm. That he vaporizes somebody.
A really good first Spider-Man villain, you know?
So good.
Like, he's not just... It's not the big bad trying to take over the world.
He's not a cackling... Like, I feel like the issue with almost all of the MCU villains is that they don't actually do
They're
anything.
just there for the heroes to look cool punching.
And, like, this time, he's not actually dead.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in prison. He might get sent to the way of the Mandarin to just sit away and do nothing.
Yeah.
So...
I'm not excited for Scorpion. Cool. What a cool villain.
I don't know if they're going to use him, though, right away. Because he was
He's
talking about...
definitely going to be in it.
Well, he was talking about his friend who's on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll probably be the main villain.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Are we excited for the trilogy that they want to do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Definitely.
I had a lot of fun with this movie.
Overall, I think it was amazing. There's so many tiny little pieces, too.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like, when they're in between the big...
Let's also talk about some action scenes real quick. Okay? The action is really, really solid, but it's never way over the top. Other than I would say the ferry scene is a little bit too much. I really, really enjoyed the plane on the outside. When I saw it in the trailers and they
The plane
removed...
was not over the top?
Listen, here's the thing. Okay. When they originally show in the trailers, it looks like just a plane. And I was like, cool, he's going to save a plane and a boat. Is he also going to save a car, planes, trains, and automobiles? Wow. Neat. But it actually, I really enjoyed it because you got, one, it was a way more important plane than I thought it was. I thought it was just going to be a normal plane, but instead it's, this is Stark's plane. Like, this is...
Would you think about Stark's plane, instead of making it go invisible, why wouldn't he just send, like, his... Like...
The Iron Man's around it. That's true, but I
Because
really
then we
like
wouldn't
the
have that
colors. The colors of when it started malfunctioning, or you saw when he goes over the camera and his lights are kind of going throughout the whole reflective camouflage system. It was very bright and colorful, and that's one thing that I think is definitely lacking for Marvel movies. And people have called it out before, and they're like, Guardians is bright and colorful, and now I like seeing it go back. Like, this is a really bright, poppy, fun summer movie.
I also love the end of this scene where Spider-Man's trying so hard to save Michael Keaton. Mm-hmm. It's so sad.
Yeah,
it's
and Michael Keaton just wants to get away because he's greedy. Towards the end of it, God, this is such a good movie.
It's really good.
Tell you what, I lied.
Oh, did you?
This movie is not an 83. This movie is an 85.
Woo!
This is a solid B movie. Solid
Woo!
B. I really enjoyed
like Samurai
this.
Cop.
Don't compare this movie to Samurai Cap. Cap.
Yeah, no, but this movie, it was such a weak summer.
Mm-hmm. This is the first. This and Baby Driver have reminded me why you can still have fun with movies, because like summer blockbuster movies are supposed to be fun. Because during the basically the fall and early spring movies and like winter movies, you can have some really good ones, but they're usually not going to be fun. They're going to be things like Manchester by the Sea or Whiplash.
Whiplash is fun. I love that movie.
No, they're really, really good.
I don't like Manchester
but
much.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Moonlight.
It's okay.
You get really, really good movies, but they're not fun.
Right.
And I think the summer we're supposed to have, they're not at quite the peak that those movies are, but they're still really enjoyable and fun to watch. And lately, we've just been getting the CGI messes that don't have a genuine story or character to it at all, and it's just boring.
I think there's more to blame on the movie than just being a CGI mess, because there's clearly a lot of CGI in this movie.
No, I'm saying for other big blockbuster movies, things like Transformers,
Yeah, I know, but
or
I
like
mean,
Fast and Furious, where it's all just noise and lights.
But the issue with Transformers isn't the CGI, because Michael
fair.
Bay does a lot of practical stuff.
I'm just saying this.
The issue with it is the story. This tells a fantastic small story that's a personal story about Peter Parker.
This is a really small story when you actually break it down. Like, compared to other MCU movies, where they
lift an entire city.
Yeah,
off.
this one, like, there's some kind of bigger stunt pieces.
I mean,
but
if you had to explain it, it's Peter Parker stopping a thief.
Yeah, that's how the movie ends, is him stopping a thief. Yes, it's a little flashy and showy, but not to the extent of, we're going to lift an entire city and all these robots are going to run and attack us, and we got to get this space laser, and we got to deactivate it, we got to protect it, and we got to not... It's going to be a meteor that flies back into the Earth, killing everyone. Not that. That's a bit much, So obviously there's a lot of stuff we didn't cover in this episode. There's so much more to this movie, so many little things. I barely even talked about Hannibal Buress and Martin Starr.
Let's talk about, before we wrap it up...
Okay, what's our last thing we're talking about?
The Captain America cameos, I guess?
Yeah. Anything with their video, like, production stuff, where it's the old school tapes or their actual news broadcast thing, I had so much fun with. That took me right back into high school.
So funny. And to end it on the Captain America teaser at the end of the credits, I guess, was so perfect.
And they also have a lot of bits where, like, they had things previously, like the Captain America Museum, where he's still seen as the hero, but now it's a joke because you can have Hannibal Buress saying, like, pretty sure that guy's a war criminal now, but whatever.
Which might be my favorite line in the movie. It's so good.
It's, man, quality movie. I'm very happy with it. I'm definitely going to be seeing it a bunch more.
Yeah.
So let's swing away. Let's get our web shooters and slingers
That's
out.
horrible.
We got to get it one more last time with the swing in there. Catch ya later, nerds. Bunch of nerds. See ya.